Police officers spend their days exposed to the sorts of horror and human suffering that few of us can imagine. For some, the tragedy eats away at them until it's all too much, and the result is the debilitating psychiatric condition post-traumatic stress disorder. New South Wales Police are required to pay an insurance premium to cover them in case they end up unable to work. But last year, their insurer lost the state's police contract, and now it's disputing old claims, dragging them on for years. Cops who once acted on stakeouts are being watched themselves, with months of constant video surveillance. Their psychiatrists are begging the insurance company to quit a practice they claim is exacerbating trauma. Louise Milligan reports.
For months on end, Peter Klein has been watched, spied on, followed. The former police sergeant has been subjected to endless hours of video surveillance by the insurance company MetLife, who is assessing his claim for post-traumatic stress disorder.
It's massively intimidating. They've been up my driveway, they have sat out there, there's footage of me at my letterbox. It's very ominous looking. So to have surveillance logs and surveillance video induces a massive amount of guilt and trepidation in me, like, is there something wrong with me? Why am I still being watched? Why is this still going on? To me, surveillance means you're up to no good.
Peter Klein started in policing in 1994. Moving to New South Wales in 1998, his mental health went downhill after daily exposure to death and tragedy. But what's happened since has compounded his pain. To escape the constant scrutiny of surveillance, he's made his home a fortress. It's not lost on him that as a cop, he used to watch crims do this very same thing.
Made me feel like perhaps I'm losing my mind. You know, I'm sticking tinfoil up in my own home to try and stop people I don't even know looking through my window.
Peter Klein's favourite job was working in the Force's Air Wing Division, where he conducted dramatic rescues hanging from a helicopter winch.
Sometimes there's times like this winch here that, you know, you earn your money, that's for sure.
He even worked part-time jobs to supplement his income. These days, he rarely leaves the house for anything bar doctor's appointments. Each day, he swallows a cocktail of psychiatric medication.
I've woken up with my head split open on the floor. I don't recall what from. A lot of the nights I do get sleep. I'm got to change the sheets the next day. Don't remember it all the time.
For the 18 months since he put in his insurance claim, he's been paid under $400 a week by the insurance company.
41 years of age, having your friends and family pay for simple things like food. After you've worked 2 or 3 jobs, never took a day off that you didn't really need. Did everything to build your life. In the last 2 years, I've lost my job, my career, my marriage.
Part of the reason it's gone lies here. The Gap is the dramatic cliff face off Sydney's Watsons Bay, where Peter Klein spent many grisly hours.
A lot of your job predominantly was picking up people's shattered remains that had committed suicide off the Gap. I've had to chase crows that have picked up a bit of skull and ear from the shattered remains of a suicide victim. Wondered whether or not I get in more trouble for trying to get the ear back for the coroner, or discharging my firearm towards the crow out towards the headland. I just got to a point where enough human tragedy obviously was enough for me.
Peter Klein's psychiatrist has recommended he go to the cliff as part of his recovery. This is the first time he's been back, and it's enormously difficult, so he doesn't stay long.
I can understand that an insurance company would want to make sure that a claim is valid. But I think that the surveillance that has been occurring with my patient has just been relentless, and it has gone on and on and on And I can only see that really this is like harassment. And of course what this has done is made Peter completely kind of overwhelmed, fearful, frightened about actually getting out and doing the things that would help in his recovery.
What do you think they want to happen?
Simply they want me to give up.
Former Senior Constable Andy Peverill knows all about surveillance too. For 6 months this year, he's been endlessly watched outside his Parkes property by video surveillance operatives. Here, Andy's wife Michelle Peverill is showing us one of the 9 DVDs of surveillance they've obtained from MetLife. Investigators film the couple every time they leave the house.
He has to come with me, he can't be on his own. The last time I left him on his own, he cut half of his hair off because he got extremely anxious. And then another time I left him on his own, he started a grass fire without, supervision.
Andy Peverill worked for 10 years at the Parkes police station on general duties.
When I signed up, I never signed up to get PTSD. I signed up to make a difference, to do a good job, and hopefully help people in their lives.
Andy Peverill's duties included having to count limbs in traffic accidents, trying and failing to rescue teenagers from a burning car, giving CPR to a friend's brother who had hanged himself and who then died in his arms. One day, he just couldn't go to work anymore.
And on that last morning, I think he just stepped out of his brain. Something triggered him with his uniform, and he just lost the plot. And I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "I'm not doing it anymore, I can't do it, don't make me do it."
What do you tell people about it, what it's like?
The simplest way is to just tell people that I see dead people, and the people I see, I knew they were living, but they won't leave. They won't go away. They just keep coming back, and they're back now.
Andy Peverill's desperation reached a limit one day when his wife found him in the shed.
And I said, "What are you doing?" Because he was just standing there aimlessly. He said, "I was just thinking whether or not I would hang myself or I'd connect a hose pipe up to the car."
Andy Peverill and Peter Klein are just two of a group of former police who call themselves the Forgotten 300. They say their claims have been delayed by successive insurers of the New South Wales force.
The police department failed to support us, and now they've thrown us over the fence to an insurance company who doesn't care.
This week, the officers invited 7:30 to film a minute's silence for colleagues who have taken their lives. New South Wales Greens MP David Shoebridge represented many injured police in his former life as a barrister.
Even the most legitimate claims, they will take on appeal to the Court of Appeal, on appeal to the High Court, to avoid making a fair payment to injured police.
Until I can get some sort of traction, some sort of closure, some sort of answer, then I can start to deal with what keeps me awake most nights.
In spite of numerous approaches by 7:30, neither the Police Commissioner nor the insurer would appear on our program. In a statement, police expressed disappointment with MetLife's delays. MetLife's statement defends surveillance as industry standard. Andy Peverill's wife Michelle thinks she'll need to close her free-range egg farm to look after her husband full-time. She's already dipping into her super, and the couple risks losing their home if MetLife doesn't pay up. As for Andy, he's just trying to get through the day. He often just goes out to stand among the chooks.
They only seem to have two cares. One of us getting feed and the other one's getting water. Well, I'm very envious of that, because I'd only like a couple of things to care about.
Louise Milligan reporting. You can see the full statements from the New South Wales Police and MetLife on our website.